Alright guys, this oil tank's coming out. I got an oil safety line, oil safety valve on this also, so I'm going to reuse that. I'll take this off and I'll put this adapter to my pump. I got a bunch of these barrels I use temporarily for moving the oil. I got like 5 of them in the truck. I think they're 30 gallon, 33 gallon. So pump the oil into there. And I'll pull this tank out. I'll get the new tank coming in a little bit. I'll take this piping out of here. It's going to be 1.25 inch feed, 1.25 inch vent. That's what I'm going to do. I'll do it a little bit different than that, but you have to do a flare on this. There's going to have to be a flare. Some kind of hose or something on there. That's going to have to be changed. Rubber hose. That's no good. It's going to be copper. Just temporarily get the oil out of here. Go through my pump into that bucket. The pipe machine here. Sawzall. Little heater. Couple of buckets to put the old schmag in there. More barrels if I need it in the truck. Can't have that. Alright, so I got about a barrel and a half there. Oil transferred over. The tank's empty. I'll pull that out of there. Alright, so on the new tank, this is going to be the edge against the wall. My feed's off the bottom there. 2 by 1.25 inch. I'll put the vent gauge alarm in here. I got 2 plugs. I gotta tighten them up. And what I do is I put pipe dope on the inside and on the threads on these because it's welded and they warp. So you gotta really crank on them. But the reason why I put my gauge in here, the arm will go down and then turn. You can see it. What's gonna happen is when it fills, it's gonna shoot in the back here. You don't want the oil shooting in down onto that arm because you'll break it. Well, if the oil comes in here and the arm is over that way, you'll never break off. So that's why I do it that way. That's the vent and the alarm also. The gauge and the alarm. And alarm thing will whistle till the oil hits it and then it shuts off. Oil will pick this up and it'll shut off, stop whistling, you know the tank's full. This gauge, the way this gauge is above the empty line, this new style. This one is below it, the empty gauge. Gotta get this thing out of here. Put the new tank in, get it piped in. I gotta cut this in 4 pieces. I usually cut right down the middle and then slice it. There's a lot of schmag in here I gotta get out. Probably like 8 gallons of muck. Alright guys, how I do my things is I always do a swing joint before I go out. I was able to reuse the 2 holes, put a street elbow here, an elbow out, and all these pieces are just stuck in here loose. I gotta mark them outside and then make a couple of cuts. I got 2 cuts to make. The vent's higher than the fill. I left my plug out here so I could put the oil from those containers back in here. Now before I do that, I gotta put an adapter on the bottom of this tank here. I'll show you how I do mine. I come off the bottom with a 1/2 by 3/8 black Malibu 90 and a 1/2 inch close nipple. The reason being is they got these brass adapters that you can put in here, Firematics, but they'll, a lot of times the threads on these things aren't the greatest because they're welded in place. So I can crank on this and tighten this up good. This will never leak. Then what I like to do is I like to come to a 3/8 ball valve so I can shut this off during cleaning, you know, for the filter, and then I'll go to a Firematic. Then I'll put my filter in my OSV valve and I'll kind of reconnect this oil line. But let me get this together, then I could pump the oil back in it, and then when while the oil is being pumped in it, I'll work on them lines outside. And I gotta cut this tank up, this whole tank, get it out of here. See, this has got an arrow. We're gonna make sure it goes the right way. use this filter. I just put it in a few days ago. Actually, I was here doing a cleaning, so. Like I said, I just changed this filter a couple of days ago. It's still good. Gotta change this to a flare though. That's good. I'd rather not work these unless I have to, but that's how I like to do it. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Alright, let me just transfer the oil back in the tank. I got it off there. Good to go. Pumping. You can hear it by the sound. Alright, this fill one's going to be fine here, and I'm going to put a 45 fill on it with a cap. They'll fill it right here. This one I got a mark. I'm going to cut it. It's a little long. I like that. Obviously, I'm going to have to do something. Well, this was a 2-inch hole before. I'll put a piece of sheet metal on there, I guess. Either that or you can caulk it. I don't know. It's kind of a lot. There's a fitting I need to put on. I'll put it on while I'm here. To make my life a lot easier. Use the pipe machine to tighten it up. Right here. safe than sorry. Put this thing in reverse. Back it right out. Why do you wear gloves? I'll put a street elbow on there and a 45 outside so I can come up straight. You gotta have a swing joint outside also, because it's pitching up. You want it to come up square. So. Alright guys, I got it in here. I just have to paint it. Paint the pipe with black Rust-Oleum I have in the truck when I'm done. I have to use a swing joint so that piece will go straight. If you don't use a swing joint, that piece will be crooked because this pipe is pitched. These pipes. I cut a little piece of sheet metal. I'll put some nails in there and silicone around that too. Because that was a 2-inch hole there. That was a big hole. The guy came on an angle with the other one, so it'll be alright. Texture 111. I'll probably paint this black too. OSV valve, I got this, I'm going to put a new line in here with a union, flared union right there. And a flared joint here. I'm going to bleed the air now. This thing goes under the house, so wondering if this line ever lets go. I'm protected with the OSV valve. If that line in the ground ever lets go, I got to run an overhead line. This is in the garage. I wiped all the joints off. Swing joint going up, another swing joint there. I used the existing holes and I put some sheet metal patches because there was some gaps there. So that looks pretty good. Let me bleed the oil line, get his oil going, and I'll cut this tank up, get this thing out of here. I'm going to bleed the oil line out. It's tripped off on safety because I've been working on the tank. But I'll bleed it into this container, get a good flow. I'll run it, there'll be oil coming out, then there'll be air from what's in the cartridge container. Then it'll give me a good flow. I'll put up a couple of times. So it's a nice red stream. You'll see the air come out, be all nice and red. That's what we're looking for. And bubbly. And you'll see a nice red stream. Get all the air bubbles out. Still kind of putting air out. That's a good stream right there. Good oil flow. Not bad. have to eventually run a new oil line, but I'd rather not unless I have to. Take my jumper off. It won't start with that jumper on there. It's just temporary. That's it. If I lose my prime, I have to run a new oil line. Around the corner all the way to the garage. My state supply and the vent, the feed and the vent have to be the same size. That's the code in my state. So that arm comes over and this way, and then the fill comes in the back here, so you can't blow the arm off. My gauge, if it came in and went that way, when you fill it, you could break the arm off. So I always put them the opposite way. Guys, I painted it black, Rust-Oleum, so it won't rust. It'll be good. I told him he's gonna have to paint it every couple of years. It's all painted, ready to go.